to the National Assembly, have always been pained by this aspect of our budgeting system. Yes, if we agree to envelope system, which we know because of the fact that we don't know the pulse of the executive, then projects must be properly tracked. Till today, nobody can tell the status of Ajaokuta steel rolling mill. Nobody can tell how much we are likely to have to finish it. And nobody can tell so many things about projects like that. And I told Mr. Phillips that as far as I'm concerned, 80% of the laws that we are supposed to make in the National Assembly, 80% of those bills that should be sent are supposed to come from the executive and corporate world like this. And when I was in the 7th Assembly, I belonged to the Committee on Power. Most of these independent power projects that were cited over places, funny enough, if you have a project in Abeokuta, for example, a power project, and it's to be powered by gas, and gas is far away in Warri, and in the course of awarding the contract for a power project, you never thought of the pipeline that would take the gas to Abeokuta. And people keep saying, by year 2020, 2015, 2030, you have power. How do you want to have power? You have power generating plants that will be powered by gas, and gas is in Port Harcourt or Warri or LMA, and there was no contract on the pipeline that to take gas to the power project. That shows that those who even conceived the idea of the power project in the first instance didn't know what it would do and how it would be done. If I continue to say this with what he has said, I just want to tell the Nigerian public that we should be listened to. There are highly qualified members of the National Assembly who have traversed different levels of their professional callings, and they are good. Nobody can say out of 360 people, you will not be able to get at least between 50 to 100 that can take on any topic, any profession, any law, and will not do justice to it. The question is, we have been misunderstood. People are not keeping open mind to what we say. And if you say it times and times over, people are not ready to listen to us. And that brings me to the issue of National Assembly budget. I've heard people say it is 150 billion divided by 469 members. Is it as straightforward as that? Yes, when we used to have 150 billion, people have forgotten that there are 360 members of the House of Representatives, 109 senators. You have the management of the National Assembly. Each member of the National Assembly, in either of the House, we have at least 5 aides. I'm made to understand that in other climes, like in the US and the rest of them, a senator or a member of House of or a congressman, we have a minimum of 32 aides. But in Nigeria, we have 5. Yes, as high as 32. Like I said earlier, we are coming again to what when we emerged in the House of Rep as Speaker and Deputy Speaker, we commissioned a committee of our needs assessment to come and tell us whether we are actually being properly funded or we are underfunded. And the report will be soon released to the public. And all these facts are there that people can cross-check after we release to the public. And if you talk about public hearing alone, it will take average of 5 to 8 million naira to take a television station to come and be it live. And don't forget that we have all other sectors of economy so huge to be sponsored in that manner. So our own position, difficult, painful, is that if we are not underfunded, as of today, we have not been overfunded. And in fact, the budget itself in the last 2 years has been reduced from 150 billion to 120 billion. And out of that 120 billion, we are even being told now that TSA will cage us somewhere. And we keep telling the executive arm of government that TSA, Treasury Single Account, is about revenue, It's constitutional, it's not a new thing. If you watch our proceeding in the last almost 8 years, we have all spoken about it, that all revenue of government should be paid into consolidated account when it concerns the federal government. All revenue should be paid to federation account when it concerns the federation, because there are two accounts. The federation account belongs to all tiers of government, federal, state, and local. The consolidated account belongs to the federal government. And we have always said that all revenue must be paid to the consolidated account in that respect. It should be paid to federation account in that respect. When you look at this,
you have 2 minutes and then we can get more comments.
Thank you very much. When you look at this all together, what I've tried to say in the last few minutes is that we are the most misunderstood arm of government, and that for the first time, I'm appealing to the Nigerian public through Nigeria Economics Group that you should keep an open mind, listen to us, tell us what you feel we must add to our functions, because you put us there by way of election. Then definitely we will listen. But the way we have been doing it up to today is that the public doesn't want to listen to us at all. And whereas we are Nigerians too, and if we don't make Nigeria comfortable for you, then it's not comfortable for us too. Because whether you spend 20 years, 30 years, there are 40 years, we are still going to go back to our different villages, towns, and cities to live there. So if the transportation system is not working, that means we have not done anything. If our telecommunication is not working, so it will affect all of us. So I'm using this opportunity to appeal to Nigerians that for the first time, at least starting from this year, Nigerians should keep open mind and begin to understand us and understand our functions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. I think a lot has been said. A key point that was made, and right after articulating this, I would ask the panelists to speak. But really, I think that the Deputy Speaker has made a key point, which is that if you do not have an executive arm of government with a legislative agenda, then you certainly are not going to get the best out of your legislature. And I think that part of the challenge of the 7th Assembly and with the last Ministry of Justice was that you didn't have a Ministry of Justice that understood or even began to get near the question of defining a legislative agenda for the legislature. And the hope is that the new government, in appointing a justice minister, would be articulating a legislative agenda for the executive. In the absence of that, the practical reality is that you are going to leave the business of lawmaking to 360 members, 109 senators who perhaps have very little inkling about legislation. In that circumstance, you would not have any laws, you would not have any understanding of what needs to be done to get citizens to take the full advantage that the legislature represents. On that ground, on that point, at this stage, I'd like to invite, we have two panelists speaking right after the Deputy Speaker. I would go to my right and invite Funke Opeke, who is the MD of Main One Cable, to speak. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Chairman. The Honorable Deputy Speaker, Chairman of the NESG, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My intervention coming in to the legislature was really going to be on two fronts. One is the role of technology in driving economic development. And research shows, and I think the NESG is also a research body, that most of the economic development that has taken place globally in the past 50 years, certainly since the Second World War, has been driven by technology. Information technology in most recent times, but technology that has improved productivity in agriculture, in manufacturing, and in different facets of modern living as we know it today. So as a nation, faced with the tough choices we currently face in moving away from a resource-based economy and trying to drive